Hey, hello, this is Gabby Santana here in Mexico Cooking with Gabby. Today I bring a video for you what we ate in a week for, it was like $19. Easy meals, quick meals, what I do with leftovers that I think you're gonna like. Hope you enjoy. I couldn't do the recipes with the link so you can print it, not yet, but I really wanted to give you this video this week. So I will work on that and then I will share with you, but right now I hope you enjoy this video.
Okay, so for these empanadas, I have a full video of it, so I'm going to leave on the description below the link for it with the recipe ready for you to print it and give you exact measurements. But honestly, these empanadas are one of my favorites for leftovers. Any leftover that you have, even if you only have beans and cheese or even beans, oh my gosh, they're going to go. They're so good and so easy to make, and it's one of the frugal recipe ever. So if you haven't watched my other video, then go and watch it so you can kind of have an idea of how to do these empanadas. Maseca is one of the ingredients that you always want to have in your kitchen, and I'm going to be showing you and sharing with you a lot of recipes to do with that. It's very frugal. I like to use the tortilla press. I have it with me from like more than 10 years. But if you don't have one, you just can get a plate and just do it, or with a rolling pin that you use for tortillas, you can use that as well. And then just add lettuce, tomatoes, queso fresco, that I will leave the video of how to make your queso fresco the easy way in the description below. And of course, the best salsas ever. I have a really amazing recipes that are so easy and very delicious. So I will leave that link for that video and recipe on the description below as well. I mean, honestly, this is one of my favorite ones. It's so good. Recipe I'm gonna be sharing with you is I'm doing brown rice and then some vegetables in a base of red sauce that I'm gonna show you. That red sauce base that I'm gonna show with you, you can use in many recipes, but this is just zucchini and corn. It is really delicious. So let's get started. And the first thing that we're gonna do is we're going to do our red sauce base. And basically that's around 24 tomatoes. I'm gonna leave the recipe for that on the description below. And the only thing that I do, I just wash my tomatoes and I'm gonna put in a big pan. I'm going to do the onion as well. Here adding 2 chile guajillos and 3 chile de árbol. This is a little spicy, so just don't add the chile de árbol, which is the spiciness, because that's going to be spicy, but add the guajillo for flavor. But now, if you don't have guajillo peppers, don't add it. I mean, only tomato, onion, and garlic is going to make it so delicious. And this is the base that we're going to use it for 3 recipes this week. I mean, I really love it. 1, because it's so cheap and easy to make. 2, because it is really good. And it helped me just to, and you're going to see it later in the other recipes, but I mean, it took me like 10 minutes for my other recipes to have dinner on the table. And it's really good. Really, really delicious. And actually, I was looking, I was like, no, I didn't spend $19. It was way less than that, because I still have a lot of tortillas, things that I bought that week that I'm going to be using for next week. And so I was like, man, I'm so good at this, right? I hope you enjoy it. Let's continue. Okay, so the next step, once you have it, I'm adding around 1/2 cup of oil. And I know it may be a little bit, but honestly, you need it. So once the flavor is going to be totally different, it's going to help for the tomatoes to get all the juice out, and that's what we're looking for. And so in every once in a while, just kind of mix it up and turn so everything can get on the flavor. And just, it was around maybe 7 minutes, 10 minutes, I want to say, but you'll see it here later what you're looking for and how to know when this is ready. So mix it up, and then let me show you here. Look at here. Like, can you see all the juices from the tomatoes? That's what we're looking for. So after that, I left it there for around, and this is in a medium low heat. That's why you want to keep them, and just mix it up. And then at this point, when you see that the skin of the tomato is peeling off, then is when I add my garlic, just for flavor. You can use the entire one garlic. I didn't have it at that time, so I used the dice already that I had it. And then here it is ready. So I'm just going to turn it off. And let's see the next step. Okay, then here the only thing that you have to do is just blend it very well. Just do that. And then I'm not adding salt until the last part that I'm going to be blending. So I have a big pan here that I'm just going to be adding everything that I blend in, and just keep blending everything. My blender is so small, so that's why I have to do it in batches. And that's it, what you do. I don't add the salt until this last one that you're seeing here. Then I add around a tablespoon of salt, but I mean, that's up to you. More or less salt, it will be just fine. Yeah, that's it. Blend it, and then you mix it up everything together so the salt can combine with all the rest of the red sauce base, and you have a red sauce base ready to go for many, many recipes. Okay, the next step, I'm just dicing my zucchini. You can either zucchini or the Mexican calabacita. That was more expensive, so I just got what it was cheaper, and I got this one. Honestly, I make a lot just because I love having leftover days, because it's just a day that I don't have to cook and I can focus on doing something else. So, I mean, you may think, oh my gosh, she's making a lot. Yes, it was like 5 zucchinis and like 2 cans of corn. But hey, let me tell you, we ate this 3 days. Because I used it for this, and then we had a leftover at night, and then we ate it as well. But because I have more leftovers, I still have a little one. So it was for lunch for next day for one of my kids. So you never go to waste. So here in a pan, I add my red sauce base. And I'm just going to warm it up so I can add my vegetables. And all of this is a very fast recipe, just because the zucchini cooks so fast. And so like in 5 minutes, my dinner was ready. I just add it. I love bay leaves. Bay leaves is going to give you a really good flavor to a lot of Mexican recipes. So I always have a little bag of bay leaves. And that's it. I add it and I have my dinner ready. I forgot the zucchini, so I'm just adding it more. But that's it. Dinner is ready, believe it or not. My dinner was ready. If you want to, I'm just adding black pepper here. But if you want to, you can add a little bit of mozzarella cheese. I didn't add it because I was going to use it for another recipe. But you can do that too as well, or just like that. And now I'm going to show you how I make my brown rice, that I know is kind of tricky. Honestly, we do it very often just because it's a little healthier than the white one. So yeah, let's continue. Okay, so here I'm gonna show you how to do my brown rice. So I'm just dicing a little bit of onion. Okay, add it to your pan, and then I'm just going to add a teaspoon of garlic. I'm going to add a tablespoon or so of butter, and I'm just going to take it to my stove and just melt the butter and cook a little bit of the onion. And then I'm just going to add my rice, and for like 30 seconds kind of like mix it up, and then I add 5 cups of water. I did 1.5 cups of brown rice. That's usually what we eat, and I always have sometimes a little left over. And 5 cups of water. I add around I don't know, like a teaspoon of salt. I add salt and black pepper. Sometimes I'll add a bay leaf as well, because it gives a really good flavor. I add around maybe like 1/4 cup of cumin. Hey, cumin always make everything so good. And that's it. I just let it cook and observe it, because sometimes you're going to need more water. You just never know. I just watch it, and for like 20 minutes my rice was done. So when it's boiling, I turn on low the heat, and that's it. So that was our meal. So let's go to our 3rd day of meal. And of course, this one we always put corn tortillas to eat with, and it tastes so good. I hope you want to give it a try, because honestly it's really good recipe. And that's it. Let's go to our next day. Let's see, Wednesday. What do we eat that day?
Okay, so for the red sauce, it's an easy way. I mean, you can do many recipes with it, honestly, and it's so good. But it's a little spicy. So if you don't want it that spicy, a chile de árbol, don't add it to it. Let me show it to you. Don't add it, because it's going to be spicy. But use the other one, a guajillo chile. Oh my gosh, it's going to give it a lot of flavor. But even if you only use tomato, it's going to taste so good. And stay tuned, because I'm going to share more recipes with you using it. But let me give you a trick that I always do. Every time I have a spicy meal or a salt, like I put too much salt, this is going to be your best friend. Syrup. But just add a little bit and then mix it up and taste it. Honestly, it's not going to taste as maple syrup. It won't taste, but it will help you to reduce the spiciness or when you have too much salt. Believe me, it's a trick that very often I do this. I still have a little one, 8 years old. He likes spicy, but not too much spicy. So sometimes when I add more, I was like, oh, I have to add a little bit of that. And it always works. Always works.
Okay, so Wednesday we ate entomatadas. Easy recipe, you only need cheese, red sauce base, queso fresco, and tortillas, corn tortillas. So here where you're looking, I'm making my queso fresco. Honestly, it's so cheap to do it just because with 1 gallon of milk, I get a pound of queso fresco, and you can use it for a lot of recipes as well. So I have a full video of that. I will leave the link on the description below so you can see it, and I have the recipe so you can print it over as well. And that's basically what I'm doing right here. So look at this. My cheese is ready for this next recipe. Now in a pan, I'm adding a tablespoon of oil, and I'm adding, I use around 3 cups of the red sauce for my next recipe, and I'm just gonna put it in my pan and to get it warm. So once you put your red sauce there, just mix it up, kind of like combine with the oil, give it a little more flavor and get it hot. We need it to be warm enough for us to do the next recipe that you're going to see. Once that is done, I'm just warming up my corn tortillas. Here I'm just only doing one for you to show it. So then basically this is what you're gonna do. You're gonna get your tortilla, which is gonna be hot, I know, but you're gonna get it and then grab it, and then you're going to add it to your sauce and cover the entire tortilla with it. And then we're going to add some queso fresco inside and roll up. If you want to, you can dice some onion and put it there inside. Honestly, I'm not a big fan of fresh onion. Part of my family it is, so I add some for them, roll it up, and just make as many as you're going to eat. And then at the end, I just like to add more red sauce on top, and then I'm going to add more queso fresco on top, and then, of course, sour cream. We have to add some sour cream. It's so good. You can eat this with a salad. You can eat this with rice. I'm going to leave a few recipes with rice that I do: a sour cream rice, the traditional white rice, the red rice, the poblano rice recipe that you can do and eat it with this recipe. It is really good.
Okay, so for this recipe, it's leftovers, but I do it another way. Remember this meat that I used for my empanadas that day one? Well, I still have plenty because I love, honestly, to do a lot of food and then be creative, so it's less time sometimes. And I have white rice that I'm going to show you what we're going to do. So let's get started.
Okay, so for this recipe, I'm going to show you how you can make a pie. And the crust is going to be made of rice. And really, I'm going to show you how you can make the base for any leftover that you have, so you can make it a pie. So this time, I used that meat. For the first day that I used my empanadas, I made a lot of meat, and so I use it twice in a different way. So here I have 2 cups of rice, white rice. I'm adding an egg, and I'm adding around a half a cup of mozzarella cheese. And honestly, that's it. I'm just gonna mix it up very well because I want it moist with the egg. And then I'm going to put on a pie, 9 inches pie plate, and just make sure that you cover all the walls, the entire pan that I'm using. Then you're going to bake it 350 for around 10 minutes. And then let's continue with the recipe. Okay, now let's make the base for our pie. This base, you can use it for any leftover that you want. So you add a 4 tablespoons of butter, then melt it, and you add 1/4 of a cup of flour. Mix it up. Then we're going to add a half a cup of water and a half a cup of milk. And then you're just going to mix it up until you start make this kind of like cream. Then once that happens, I'm just going to add a half a cup of cheese. Once the cheese is melted, I'm going to add around 2 to 3 cups of any leftover that you have. Mix it up very well. Add it to your pie crust, already cooked. And I cook it for like 12 minutes. It was ready for me. And then add it and cook it. Now you can add, once you add all your leftover, you can add more cheese if you want to. This point I didn't want to, just because that meat has really good flavor. I don't season it at all, just because my meat that I was using already been seasoned, has a really good flavor that I love. So it's up to you if you want to add a little more cheese or not. Let's take it to the oven, 350 for around like 25-30 minutes. And here you have it. It's a little dark, but honestly, it is really, really good. Something important with this pie is you have to let it rest for around 10 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes, just because the only reason, I mean, you can eat it right away, but you're going to see it here, how it's not, it still looks a little like watery, just because it hasn't been there, like you have to let it rest enough time. But at the end, you're going to see how it looks like when you do let it rest. But honestly, it's really, really good. And it's easy meal, simple, perfect for any leftovers. I love it. It's one of my go-to recipes. Okay, can you see the difference? I left it then once everybody ate because everybody was so hungry. But look, this is way better. And then for next day, honestly, it's going to taste even better. Like this is the leftover from leftover. Oh my gosh, it is really, really good. Okay, it's Friday. For this day, we're gonna do spaghetti with, of course, the red sauce base and lentils. Here, what I'm doing is I had boiling water. I add salt, bay leaf. I'm going to add some garlic, and I'm going to add my oh my gosh, I forgot, lentils to cook. That's exactly what I'm just doing right here. I'm using only half of bag of a pound because the lentils are very, like when they cook, oh my gosh, it makes so much, and you're gonna see that I even had leftovers. So only half of the bag, that's what you need. More recipes to use with lentils is coming to you. I have a lot of recipes. Lentils is so frugal and really good if you know how to cook them. Here I have my water for my spaghetti. This is your opportunity to give some flavor to it. Add salt, add your spaghetti, 7 minutes, done.
Okay, so for this next meal that is Friday, I'm going to be using again our tomato base sauce. So good, we're doing the spaghetti with lentils. And I know a lot of you let them in water overnight, your lentils. I don't do that. People said that helps with the gas and whatever. I don't know. I just wash them and put it in my pan and cook them, as you see in the video. I really like it. You can do a lot of recipes using this tomato-based sauce that I'm going to be showing with you. But let's say you did a lot like I did, and I still have more. You can freeze it with no problem at all. Just put it on your freezer, and you can use it another time. Plus, you're going to have... Plus, I'm going to be sharing with you more and more recipes. So let's continue.
Okay, so here I have the rest of my red sauce, and I'm just going to put it in a pan to warm it up again. I add a little bit of whipping cream just because I had it on my fridge and I wanted to use it, but you don't have to. My lentils are ready, and I'm sorry that it's so dark. I don't know why. Anyway, I just removed the bay leaf that I put in there, and then it's done. And my spaghetti is done. So what I did, I just removed the water and add a little bit of oil and mix it up so they will not stick together while I was getting ready with the rest of the ingredients. And we are ready. We're just going to add some spaghetti in our plate. You're going to add some lentils, and then you're going to add red sauce. You could add here Parmesan cheese, queso fresco, and mozzarella cheese if you want to. And that's it. You can even add garlic bread. I have a really good recipe and so easy garlic bread. If I have the time, I will translate it for you. If you know Spanish, you can go to cocinandorico.com, and if you put pan de ajo, I think like a garlic bread in 30 minutes in Spanish, it will the recipe come up. Hopefully I have the time and share it with you because it's really good. And basically, that was it. Isn't that amazing? I mean, it really tastes so good. I promise. We love lentils, and this is a good way for us to use it. I mean, honestly, it was like what, $1.50 for a meal of 6. And then for Saturday was just leftover days. This is all I have left, and I'm going to just add some lettuce. I had more spaghetti under the lentils as well, so we have it there. I had some red sauce, of course, and I'm just maybe gonna do like a cup of rice to go with my
enjoy. Thank you so much for watching, and remember, if you really like this video, give thumbs up, share it, and subscribe. See you next time.